is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters.
It's motorsport, but not as you know it. Test yourself and your everyday road car. Safe, affordable, but most of all, fun. And all you need is your daily driver. Experience the thrill of a sprint day. Race against the clock at a hill climb. Or test your reflexes with an auto test. It takes just 3 simple steps to get started. Get on the start line. Search Motorsport Australia Daily Driver today.
Fishies in a row. They're here to make a point and to do Eddie proud. They fan out in the background as they come down to turn 1 for the first time. It all looks pretty good, 2 by 2. We'll stop the camera here. Oh, Eddie would be proud, mate. That was awesome run around turn 1. But, oi! Contact with the fishies.
He's made it through. It doesn't look like Angus has made it, but Thomas Freeman's made it through, and Angus is going to suffer the crowd coming through there to be able to turn his car around. Woo.
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride, whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride,
ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
And they are off. It was a good start from Dylan to Bono. I think Phil Vella got a great start there in the background as well. You can see already cars going 5, 6 wide as they're trying to find any semblance of space. They come into T1. So far we've got 2, 3 wide as they snake down. There's Michael Conchar that's got around Dylan to Bono. A couple of cars going wide there. Was that a bit of contact in the back? Scott Pocock caught up in that, I think, there, buddy. But it's Michael Cullajar's got past, so Dylan...
Light is coming out and we're about to get going, and we have green lights and a very slow start for the 86s, but they are moving out there on the grid. It would be very interesting to see exactly which driver can capitalise on this first lap. Just go through the grid. Look like Jamie Christensen had a really awesome start to get ahead of Dylan DeBono, and Doug Gowage also jumped his teammate as well, so unfortunately Dylan stalled the car a little bit more than what he preferred. But
Weekend in, weekend out, Motorsport Australia officials are making waves. From waving flags, waving cars through pit lane, or responding to a wave for help. Wave hello to new lifelong friends. Who knows, you might just make waves around the world. Ride the first wave. Search Motorsport Australia officials today.
Still great classes of car, and if you are able to, if you're coming up the ranks on iRacing through the licenses, it's a fantastic sort of laneway into prototype driving, going from that GT3 up through the prototype classes. As the safety car pulls in, we get ready to go green as we come up towards the line. Edwards, Hasler, who's going to get the jump down to turn 1, or will any of the fishies, any of the piranhas in behind them, assault them down towards
green and they're
this
off.
first lap? Let's go here.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's Home and Contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolute thinker, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching from, and welcome back to Sim Racing World TV. We're back again for the Warren and Brown V8 Supercars series here on a Tuesday night, round number 5 for season 1 of 2024, and we are out at Mugello, a fan favourite, a favourite of mine. So great to have it in the sim, in iRacing. And, you know, got to call a race here last Saturday night. It was absolutely fantastic. I'm so looking forward to tonight's racing. I am your commentator, Hamish Munro, as always. Alongside me, Steve Sinkovic. Steve, how amped are you to be out here in wine country, racing around this track, finally on iRacing in the Supercars?
Not as amped as you are, mate, but I love a new track. I've just bought it now, so I haven't even had a chance to get out on there and have a bit of a spin and see what it's all about, see what the elevation changes are like, see what the hairpins are like. There's a few S's in here. There's a big corner across 8, 9, 10. That's like a double right-hander. So it's going to be interesting all the way around. I'd really, really, really love to speak to one of the drivers and get their opinion, and maybe even get one of them to take us for a bit of a spin while they're out there tonight before the race starts.
Well, I mean, it's so new. SDK doesn't even have a track map in its backlog to actually have here on the overlay here for the pre-race spiel. But a couple of comments already from Ty Delaney. Go Simmer up the fish. Well, the young minnow had a quality race on Sunday night. Sinker out at Silverstone, and then well, tonight we'll be having to wait and see how these amateurs and these pro-ams can go together. And we were kind of right with our predictions last week, where the first race was a little bit more chaotic somewhat, but it also kind of settled down halfway through the race at Silverstone, because the amateurs kind of calmed down a little bit and weren't really willing to go for moves, where once we got to the big boys on the Sunday, with the pro-ams and the pros, they were a lot more willing to go for risks and go for dives, and we had those little chaotic moments, a couple of more chaotic moments than what we had on the Tuesday, but still no safety car. But I think tonight could be a very similar situation. It's going to be how willing these drivers are to go for moves, to go for risks, and to push their cars to the limit.
A new track as well, so there's going to be risk left, right, and centre. They've got to be smart. They can't go too crazy out there. So it's gonna be a tough one, man. I really don't know. I'm gonna sit on the fence with this one and wait and see. Look, tonight's Mugello is round 5. We are on a normal section of track, no sprints, no enduro, no super sprints, nothing like that. So normal race tonight. But that means that the boys are going to be pumped from the very beginning to the very end. And then next week we've got Motegi, how people like to pronounce it, and that's going to be a sprint round. So something a little bit different next week. Every week something special. So I'm hanging for this big time.
The old formerly known as Twin Ring Motegi, now I believe it's Mobility Arena Motegi. Really offers up quite a lot of spiciness when it comes to supercars being such a short and tight circuit. You know, it really doesn't offer up, it doesn't really offer up as many like too wide racing, because there's not really 2 lines around there, but it can offer up some carnage. Harry Dodds in the chat as well saying this track was so much fun and officials can't wait for Sunday. Ty Delaney saying yeah, very true. Oh yeah, very true, Harry. Yeah, it's and even calling the action Saturday night for the vets, Singer, it looks like so much fun. I remember back in the days of when I was playing Forza, day in and day out, we'd race this track fairly consistently, not just even in the V8s, but in others. I said very consistently.
No, you said the word Forza.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, we all have to start somewhere, don't we? Some people start on Gran Turismo, others starts on Forza or Project Cars. I mean, I started on Toka Race Driver, or V8 Supercars Race Driver as it is here in Australia.
I'm still driving like I'm driving Mario Brothers, so nothing's changed. Listen, I'm going to do a sneaky thing here. Tyson is in the room with Jamie Budd, and I want to have a quick chin wag to him, because I know he's been out on track, to see what he thinks of the track So let's steal him up here and have a bit of a chin wag. He's not going to know we're going to do it, but let's do it.
No worries. Ty, I'm very good, thank you. Ty's asking how we are,
Can you hear me? Mr. McAvoy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good, mate. We've grabbed you into the booth because we wanted to get a driver's perspective on this track. Have you had a spin on it yet, mate?
Well, I literally just built the track about 5 minutes ago, so I'm going to reply with a no.
Same as me, mate. Same as me. I was hoping that you might have been out with the boys for a bit of a practice session, maybe last night or something like that, but obviously not. We might see if I can get Cowie to come in. He's obviously done a few laps on here at some point, but now that Collie's starting, he'd be fully focused on that, mate. I will let you get back to business, mate, and I hope your finger's okay.
Thanks, boys.
Cheers, buddy. Well, that was a
that was an unexpected choice for you, wasn't it, Sinker? I should have said to you that Tyson joined about as late as you did, so I expected that he didn't even have the track yet. Ty also asked us how we were. I am quite well, thank you, Ty. Excited to see more Supercars action around this track. In fact, I would actually hazard an idea put forward, Sinker. If you enjoy the racing around here so much tonight, I reckon we should actually start or finish every single Supercars championship this year in SRW with this track. It offers up so much, and we could change it up each season. It starts one season, finishes the next with an enduro. It offers so much, so many possibilities with your finishes that you can have around here, and it all kind of comes down to how willing the drivers are willing to push and take those risks, as I mentioned. So,
what do you think the traditional V8 supercar drivers would say if you did that rather than doing that with Bathurst?
Well, I don't want to get absolutely ostracised for having my opinions, but I think Bathurst is overdriven as it is. It's a great track, don't get me wrong, but it is overdriven.
Yeah, I believe that too.
I think this track here is one of my favourites in all of Europe. And I know it's cliche to say that, but this track has got such a special place in my heart. It is so fun to drive that it is a driver's track, if you can understand what I mean. Like, it is so fun to cut laps around here, no matter what your pace is. You feel like you're always on it, and it is a challenge to get those times up. And when you get those times up, you feel so accomplished for doing so.
Yeah, it sounds like you do love this track with the passion, I should say.
I do.
With a passion.
But
all right, if you'd like this track this much, get out there. Let's tell the viewers a bit about it. Let's follow a car that's coming across the start-finish line and having a look to see where he's at. And just to let you know, Hamish, I can't see nothing on my SDK.
I did give you the live timing.
No, I've got the live timing, mate. Just the SDK where I view the actual lovely race. It's all stuck on the podium for some reason, but I'm sure by the time the race starts, it'll kick itself in its gut and it'll go. But let's get rocking.
So we're on board here with Mr. Crosby, round the final corner. So has been a couple of years since I've driven a supercar around here. In fact, last one I probably would have been the VF, but it's such a long and fast straight. Of course, it was in the F1 calendar a couple of seasons ago during the COVID season, and I thought it was such a breath of fresh air to have this thing on that calendar, and I think it should have actually been made permanent. Hard on the brakes here into the braking zone just before the 100-meter board. Then you want to click down those gears, try and get it down to about second gear. Can do a bit of a short shift on the way around, but you've got to try and maximize that run up towards turn 2 up the hill. You then want to ride these curbs. You don't want to be too forceful, just nice and smooth. I think one person we're going to have to keep an eye on, especially Sunday night, is Darren Lobb, because we know that he's smooth, and if he can be smooth around here, I mean, he already won here in the Vets for the final round of the season. He's going to do well Sunday night, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him come the Pro-Am race. Then we come down to what I call the roller coaster section, otherwise known as the Casanova. Such a fast piece of circuit, and you can so easily run it out wide. And you can see sometimes drivers tempt fate, go a bit too wide through there. You know, 2 cars wide, one of them hits each other, they run off into the sand pit. And then this here, the Arabiatas, 1 and 2 through turns 8, 9, and you can see him just catching the AstroTurf there, Sinker. Got to be careful on your throttle control around here and your turn in. You have to be smooth. That is, unfortunately, the end of the lap there for Crosby. But, I mean, you know, it is a track that will reward consistency and reward cleanliness and smooth inputs. That's the most I can say to you about what these drivers need to do, is they need to be clean and consistent and smooth with how they drive these things around here. I know it's hard in a supercar, but that's what they need to maximise if they want to get the most out of this track here tonight and on Sunday.
Well, mate, you've convinced me that you love this track just by the fact that you went through that whole thing and took one breath all the way through. So the passion is definitely there. And we've still got boys still joining the session. Young Anderson has just managed to... oh, no, he's having a disconnect. It could be having issues with his... of the dropout of internet. So Laura Anderson's out there. Good luck, Brad Anderson, Jamie Davis and Josh King. The boys out there that race together in the same room, and they have a lot of fun. Mr. Jamie Davis is actually helping the other guys around and trying to get used to the V8s at the moment.
I'll tell you what, Sinker, one person I have to keep an eye on is this guy, Sean Vandermeulen. Got some great pace about him at the moment. He's equalled Darren Crosby's current qualifying lap. And I know he's been practicing for vets. He's coming into the vets next season, so I would hazard a guess that he may even have the vet set on this car, and he may have cut some laps in their practice sessions prior to round 10. So, you know, he could be a little bit of a smoky here tonight for that amateur class. You know, if he did race in the split 3 round at the end of the season, I'm not 100% sure, but if he did, he already has, you know, one above the majority of the field by that he's already done a race here in a league setting. So he could have the advantage at the moment for the amateurs.
Well, look, I'll take your word for it because you've seen him drive before. I haven't, but he has been. I have seen the name float around here and there at SRW, and he seemed to have a bit of pace in him, definitely. Ray Douglas, g'day Steve and Hamish, good call tonight. Pity Jace got put into the pros, as he loved pro-ams. It is what it is. Yeah, look, he's a growing boy, and he's getting there, mate. His racecraft is getting better and smoother, and he's starting to be a bit more patient to making those moves. And I think he's getting there slowly, mate. I reckon by season 2, he'll be up there with the top end of the field, pushing those boys a bit harder.
Another one we're going to have to keep an eye on tonight, Steve. Good old Cowie. He's got some good pace about it at the moment. He's currently 5th in Class 6 on the road, so he could be on for something special. If he does well here tonight, I reckon he could do well Sunday as well, because, again, that race practice is so important in these cars, and this Tuesday gives the primes a little bit of an advantage over the pros, or they may not have the pace advantage, but it gives them the track knowledge advantage over those pros come Sunday night. So Cowie could be one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, 100%. He's been getting better and better. I think this season he's changed his strategy, and it's visible in his racing as well. He's been a little bit unlucky, getting a bit tangled, and I think on Sunday night he just took too much out of his rears in the end, and that really cost him that one position at the very end of the race. I think it was like a lap to go or something like that, because he fought that battle all the way through.
We have been asked by our young Delaney to go on board here with Adam Simpson, so we'll sit with Adam here for the rest of his lap. I'll tell you what, you know, we spoke about Silverstone, Sinker, being a track you want to maximise your exits, maximise your runs through corners. This track, the exact same, but the difference with this and Silverstone is this track is a lot more flowing. The corners are a lot more flowing, so you can maximise exits, but that's not what you want to do with a big slide in towards 13 and 14. Up towards the final corner now comes Simpson, but yeah, just maximising those exits. As I mentioned, those smooth inputs, having that throttle control in the car is what is going to be absolutely crucial here tonight for these drivers.
Yeah, look, it's going to be nail-biting all the way through. Look, I don't know what to expect. I'll be learning this track while some of these boys will be learning the track as well. Bit of tail wagging going on left, right and centre, as we can see them already, but I'm keen to get this going, mate. Keen, very keen. What do we got? 10 minutes left?
No, 5 minutes left.
5 minutes
although
left.
they can go past the 15, being that it is a regular round here tonight. So
correct.
They will be able to do that. Cowie is flying tie. He's doing very, very well. Rick Viger back up to pace as well, Steve. You know, he could be one for a bit of a smoky, but he has to contest with those two M1 drivers up the front. Burridge a little bit off the pace here tonight compared to his teammates. Maybe it's been in the Commodore, I don't know. There's not really much different between these cars. You know, the only real difference is your view out of the windscreen, I think, and having a different mirror in the middle of the car. And there's really no difference in how the car feels.
But mate, you're being generous. I thought it was driving like a Rolls Royce in the Mustang and then driving a bag of shit in the Holden. Really? let's not pull punches.
Coming down to the nitty and gritty, Steve, there are no differences between these two cars. Mechanically, they drive the exact same, but perspective-wise, I think some people drive each one a little bit, one or the other a little bit better, just because of that difference of view out of the windscreen, as I mentioned, and that different FOV within the cars. So I think that's why sometimes some people think that, one drives different than the other, but when it comes down to the data, they are the exact same, pretty much.
Let me tell you about field of view. I can't remember which driver it was. I think it might have been Connor Nixon. I can't remember. No, it wasn't Connor Nixon. It was one of the boys that joined SRW. It was a massive Holden fan, and what I did was on the inside of the mirrors when I was doing the paint scheme for him, I put Ford logos. So every time he looked into the left or right mirror, he would look straight at the Ford logo.
Thanks a lot, Ty. Best of luck at East Coast tonight, buddy. He's off to do East Coast V8s. Whilst we're here for the amateurs and primes. I know where I want to be, Sinko. I want to be here in Mugello. This is up there with Red Bull Ring for me as a circuit, but as a series, I've been growing as a fan week in and week out of these boys on track. Love seeing the Vets boys do well, as you know, but also love seeing those little outsider picks do well, as well as that. You never really know who could get up there. Anything can change, and the whole landscape can change, in the span of a lap. All right, Saturday night. Whole span of the race changed. All right, I'll give you the insider on this, Steve.
Yep,
we got to about lap 19. Half the field had done. There's 2 compulsory stops in Vets. Half the field had done 1 compulsory stop. Half the field had done none. They called a safety car right on the critical lap of lap 19. The half that had done 1 came in and finished their 2 CPSs, and the other half could only do 1 because you cannot complete both of your CPSs under 1 safety car period. So it completely changed the whole course of the race. And it completely changed the kind of mindset of what some drivers are going into. The 2 championship contenders, one of them was one of the boys who had not pit underneath, prior to lap 19. The other one had. So it was on for them both, really. One of them was going to have their 2 CPSs done, the other one didn't, so they had to fight back for it. So it's, anything can change in a manner of in a span of a lap around here. And we could be on for a race of the season, I think, here tonight. But hopefully the boys can show up for us.
Yeah, look, I'm hoping so. I want to see as much action as possible. I'm biting at the teeth here to get this going. We've got what do we got? Oh, just over 2 minutes. So anyone that's on a hottie is going to get a chance. It looks like the boys are just taking out the pits. There's
Kennedy was on for a faster one and he ran it wide.
Yeah, well, we've got the Angry Birds, Rick Vigor, with them 1 boys behind him, and looks like I can't see that car. There's a PSR car, and I can't see what the other car is at the moment, but yeah, the boys are going out for their last-ditch attempt.
Great to have you here, Stacey. Stacey is, of course, from the US. He likes to tune into the Vets broadcast as well. Great to have you here. Good morning to you. It's very early morning for Stacey. I believe it's around about 2 to 3 a.m. for him, and he gets up to come and watch Vets on a Saturday night. And he's here tonight to watch the program with us, so it's good to see him in the chat.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. Welcome aboard, mate. Like and subscribe. Also, a little bit of housekeeping for those of you who were watching last night and don't know anything at this point. JP's young fella had a bad case of tonsillitis and was struggling to breathe last night, so he had to duck out of the show to help his son and get him to hospital. Everything went well. He's okay. He's fine, which is the most important thing. I pretty much told the guys, stuff the show. Families are more important than anything else. They were trying to be apologetic about it. I said, I don't care. As long as the young fella's okay. Young fella's good. He's on some medication and all that sort of stuff, and JP will be back tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night.
Thursday night.
Thursday night. I keep forgetting today's Tuesday because we're here on a Sunday. It's like woohoo. Yeah.
Of course, thoughts go out to JP and his young fella. I saw when it was happening in our little broadcasters chat, and I'm it must have been pretty bad for them to stop it. And then I watched the end of it, and I'm like, I understand why. So completely understand why he would have made that decision. I would have done the same thing if I was in his shoes. And
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And
Hell yeah.
You know, if I could have finished it for him, I would have, but we haven't quite figured out that aspect yet of me being able to cover for an English broadcaster whilst being in Australia. But
yeah, look, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. We're doing live TV, and live TV, you know, things will happen. So you just can't predict anything. The way it goes is the way it goes. Unfortunately, we'll just battle on and hope that things get better with SDK and all that sort of stuff that we do. Hopefully some new innovations are coming. I mean, iRacing is jumping ahead and doing all this stuff. I'd like to see SDK jump ahead and do some stuff. What do we got here, mate? We've only got a couple of seconds left on this stuff. Is there anyone on a hottie?
So the checkered flag has flied. Davis has just gone pole position, 149.350, just pipping Stephen Kennedy there. Only newbie Liam Isles, Brad Anderson, and Billy Moller out there on a lap at the moment, but I don't know if these are going to be ultra hotties at this stage. They're all orange sectors, so I would say that Jamie's got pole. Yeah, Billy's pulling it up. So I'd say Jamie's locked pole in at this stage for himself.
Excellent, excellent. Mr. Davis, congratulations, mate. It's good to see you out there.
I thought he was going to be in an SRW livery come this time.
We're still working on it, mate. We've got a few things to work out. I might have a chat with him tonight afterwards. I think I've got the linchpin in my thing. It might be an expansion of the team at a greater length, but it's good because I've got young Noble out there who needs to race with some like-minded people and get himself.
Is there any word on Noble? Actually, I know we had conversations about him putting a bit of focus into one kind of car. Is there any kind of news on what he would like to focus on, whether it's supercars or F3s?
He's going to keep racing multiple cars. He needs to get used to iRacing in general. So we've just had a chat about refocusing, slowing down. You know, not being so eager to push and pass every time. Get used to the field, get used to the drivers around him, because he's in a brand new environment and he can't drive his normal natural style because he's not really adapted to the car as yet. So look, it's a work in progress. He's got the pace, that's for sure. We'll just take our time and we'll get there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is our starting grid for our one and only race here tonight out at Mugello. Jamie Davis will start in pole position with a lap time of 1:49.350. He will start alongside Stephen Kennedy on the front row of the grid from M1 Racing. Then it'll be Rick Viger in P3 for Angry Birds Racing. Alongside him, finishing up the second row of the grid will be Billy Mole. Then it will be Darren Crosby in P5 alongside P1 for the amateurs. And a real surprising riser this week, Sean Vandermeulen out of P6. Will be very interesting to see what he can do here tonight. Andrew Cowan will then start at a P7 alongside Chris Burridge out of P8, with Jackson Pringle coming in P2 for the amateurs, P9 overall for qualifying here tonight. Travis Daly will then make up the top 10 for Midline Sim Racing. Just in behind him will be Scotty Weston from East West Racing, Jim K Logistics at a P11. Daniel Clutterbuck will then start at a P12, newly promoted Pro-Am last week. He did very well for the majority of the first part of the season to get promoted up. There will then be Jeremy Bush in behind alongside Adam Jepson. Brett Taylor will then make up the top 15. Alongside him will be his fellow vets cohort in Craig Healy at a P16, ahead of Daniel Schultz and Darren Walden in behind. It'll then be Michael Quash and Mitchie Noble making up the top 20 here tonight. Blake Fitzpatrick will then start at a P21 alongside Stephen Martin at a P22, with David Leslie starting at a P23 alongside Fishy Motorsports' Adam Simpson out of P24. In behind them will be Liam Isles on debut here tonight alongside Brad Anderson. Josh King did not set a lap in qualifying, neither did Peter Vanderkraan. Big thank you to our race controllers Tyson McAvoy and Jamie Budd as well. But I am ready to rock and roll here tonight. Steve, this is going to be an absolute belter. I can already tell it's going to be an absolute belter.
It is. It's going to be a killer. I'm going to watch your stream instead of FCK for now. I'm going to reboot my other computer because it's stuck in replay mode. But we'll see how we go. This is just, my heart's already pounding. I've got the goosebumps going on my arms. There's 19 people watching just in YouTube, plus on Facebook. So we've got a crowd out there, people watching and sitting in the channel, waiting to see it all go down. And it's going to start ticking any second with, what is it? 30 seconds to go.
30 seconds to go. Ray, where's Grandpa Gowans tonight? He hasn't signed up for the Supercars this season, I don't think. So
Oh, I don't think he has, yeah.
If you want to see him, you got to join me and Cowie tomorrow night for the Shannon's Insurance F3 Nationals, because Grandpa will likely be out there for that one. If not, wait till
100%.
Thursday. And if he's not out there on Thursday, then cross your fingers he's out there on Friday night for the IMSA series as well. Harry Dodd's saying, told Jamie Davis to change his window better. Yeah, I need to change it, to be honest, Harry. I've got the updated one, but we've had some SDK issues over the last couple of days. We've been just trying to sort that stuff out. We now have, so now I can focus and get those window banners up.
Here we go, lights are off.
Let's go racing out at Mugello. Nice clean start for the majority of the field. Who's going to get the run down to turn one? It was a great start there from Davis and Kennedy in behind. You can see them all just bunching up. Need to be careful on the brakes down at turn one. So we make our way through for the first time. We see Taylor on the inside line in the background. Just poking the nose there, just slightly looking nice and clean at this stage. We'll head up onto the blimp cam to get the best possible angle we could. Oh, there's contact between Fargo and Kennedy! And he's balked him out of turn three.
Oh, just watch it, hold it. He's managed to hold it. He's in it. This is just it. You've got a massive grid and 30 drivers, and poor Kennedy, he has got himself all the way down the back then. So 4-5-1, which I believe might have been Kennedy, has called that in to see what's going on. No, 4-5-1's called it. Shane van der Meulen's called into the race control and have it confirmed.
So we are still going around here for lap number one. And Davis has got an absolutely mammoth lead over Viger and P2 at this stage. Viger under immense pressure from Crosby here. We might see a bit of a receipt from the M1 car on the Angry Birds car. Laura, how many safety cars tonight? I'm going to say one. I'm going to be honest.
I'm going to say none.
Yeah, I don't know if this track lends itself well to safety cars too much, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Could see a blown engine, could see a car get spat off into a wall. Just have to wait and see.
Look at the gap that Jamie's got on Rick Vigo. Jamie's at a 1.82 already, and we haven't even completed the first lap. He is in blistering pace. He must be feeling very comfortable in that car, that's for sure.
Very wide line from Cowie there through the final corner, just trying to defend on Billy Mole in behind. But Jamie is going to cross the start-finish line here to complete lap number one. We now go on to lap two. 2 minutes into the session, so probably 30-odd laps without a safety car here tonight, I would say, Steve. That's a fair assumption.
I'm not even going to try to guess, mate. I'm not even going to try to guess. I'm just going to go with it and just say, yes, okay, mate.
It's based on lap times, that's all.
Yeah, look, this is virgin territory for me. I haven't seen this track, watched this track, seen anyone race on it. So this is everything here. I'm watching it for the first time, like a new baby born with her eyes wide open, going, "Oh wow."
Well, I mean, it's not just new for you. It's new for Supercars. I mean, last week I think was the first league race at Mugello for the Supercars from vets, and then we've come here this week. This is only the second time that at least I know of in Australia the Supercars have come here for iRacing at least. So it's it's uncharted waters, uncharted territory, and as I mentioned, if we can get a good show.
What I'm loving so far is the undulation of the track, the up and down, so it's not all completely flat.
Oh, that's it.
I love tracks with different, with a really big height variation. That's what makes Bathurst so special. The difference in height. If that was a flat track, everyone would be like, yeah. But because it's a race up the mountain, and this Mugello's got a lot of up and down. I'd love to see. I might check it out while we're waiting. What the difference in height is actually.
Drive-through penalty for car 111 for contact on lap one. That's for Jackson Pringle. I think that might have been what Sean van der Meulen may have been calling in off of lap one. I'm just scrolling back here to see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. This will be. Oh my God! That was contact into the pit lane.
Was that contact, or was that just off this break point?
We'll get it again. We'll come back to it. This was why there's been.
And
that's why he's copped a penalty.
You just can't fit. Look at this. You just can't fit 3 wide in the corner like that, people. And it wasn't just one row. It was like 3 rows of 3 wide then.
Then this was a little bit later on through lap number 2. This was Josh King, and I believe he's just run it wide here into the sand. He has, and that's what you got to be careful of, that real wash-off on the exit of the corner.
Yeah.
And David Ledsley has had an incident as well. I believe maybe
He's noticed that the wash-off of the sand and the pace you lose through it now is really...
Oh, yeah.
It's real. It's not like you
It's
go
so
off
much
and just
better.
keep skidding.
It is so much better.
It's taken it back to some bit of realism.
So then this is what we saw with Bush and Pringle. Oh, and he just he lost it. He had nowhere to go.
Well, he's lucky he didn't take out Pringle there as well.
He
and
is.
Pringle just managed to... I'm not sure what Pringle called that in, because that was obviously a racing incident, but he was lucky that he his rotation was already there and Pringle just helped him go further rather than having the full impact of it.
You can see here, Davis has already built out nearly a 2-second lead over nearly 3 laps. Right, we're coming up to lap 4, so 5 minutes in, and the gap's already up to 2 seconds, but it is shrinking slightly here with Weiger now able just to chase him down, and I think Crosby may want to work with him here. I don't know if there is a receipt coming for Weiger, but we'll have to wait and see. It's a long race, Steve, and anything can happen throughout the rest of this race. Leader of the amateurs is now Brett Taylor. He's now taking advantage of Pringle having an incident and a penalty applied, plus then also Vandermeulen getting into that incident as well.
The amateurs in the pro-ams have actually split quite nicely tonight. There's Walden and Simpson. Obviously, they had incidents, Kennedy, Quash, and Bush that have sort of dropped down a bit. But apart from that, they've split themselves into good, 2 solid groups.
We've got Weston in behind Taylor here. These boys, of course, raced each other Thursday night. So they have got a bit of racing experience around here. Weston had a little bit of an unlucky night on Thursday. So we'll be hoping to make up for that here tonight.
He's all over the back of Weston's all over the back of Brett there, Taylor. He's got himself down to 0.3, so 3/10 on the back of him, pushing like crazy.
I think, Scott's had some... When I started broadcasting, Steve, Scott had some absolutely mega races. Like, he had some great pace about him in the vets, and he's kind of dropped off a little bit. It was kind of around the time when Taipan disbanded and they went into their 2 separate teams. Now he's just finding his footing again, and he's finding that pace again. So it's really, really good to see from the Western Australian.
Oh, he's a WA boy.
He is.
Good on him.
He is indeed.
I do remember Scotty back in the early days when Taipan was racing in FRL before we did the changeover, and then they all started focusing on something else, which was fine by us. But yeah, it's good to see some of them back and some of them still racing.
Of course, he went the way of... That's kind of where the name East West Racing comes from. He started the team with, I want to say, it was... I think it might have been Marty Hanson, but I could be wrong. No, it wasn't, sorry. No, it was Craig Healy. Him and Craig Healy started the team after Taipan disbanded. East West Racing comes from the fact that Scotty, obviously his last name is Weston, but he also lives in the West, and Craig and the other boys live in the East, so that's kind of where their team name comes from. And then the other team to come off the back of that was Accelerate Sim Racing as well. You've got the likes of Michael Schroeder and others as well.
Oh, look at this. Too wide through that corner. Oh, he's backed off.
Clutterbuck around the outside.
Clutterbuck is still on the outside. Jeez, tell you what, he's it hasn't taken him get back up to speed long, mate, at all after his sabbatical for the last 8-9 months. He's he's driving real well and always such a respectful driver. And he's still got the going. Still got 2 wide. I didn't expect a track like this to be able to handle it, but the boys are still going it, giving each other plenty of space. And Michael's actually, by giving himself that extra bit of space, he's actually maintaining the pace around those corners.
Now, this is quite a controversial thing, but this is a good example of this here, Steve. Pringle is out of sync at the moment, right? He'll have blue flags on Healy and behind him here. He's trying to race these boys like he's racing for position. Now, I know it's early in the race and he wants to try and make up spots, but he's just run it off here across the grass. Do you think it's maybe more beneficial for him just to let these boys go and just try and have a clean race rather than make up what he's already lost?
Yeah, look, he's pushing. Overdriving is a key, yeah? When you overdrive, you drive like me. And what comes of that? Missing braking points, spitting, putting down the foot a bit too early. And it ends up being a mess. You end up out of sync. You're not in the right point of the apexes like now, and he's fighting his way through. My suggestion is, stay clean.
I have to correct myself.
Truck in.
It's not Pringle. It's Pringle's teammate, Adam Jepson, who's not out of sync. He's just a little bit flustered with a bit of card damage. So I do apologise. That's not Pringle. But I guess it kind of goes back to the conversation. If it was Pringle in this situation, what should he do? But he's just ran it off into the pit lane. Oh, ho, ho.
Who's that in the pits?
That was Jepson coming in.
Jepson. He's first a fewer. That's for damage, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You can see him in the background there. Just coming into the lane. Walden's been in the walls already. Couple of little, war wounds on that car at this stage. Noble's having a clean run. He's up 4 spots. Hasn't moved up within class, though. Oh, but there's contact with Fitzpatrick and Walden, and he's just come back across. Nothing Noble could do there. He's just a sitting duck.
Rear end.
I think there was contact. I'll see if we can get the replay up, of course. See if we can find it here. Where was this pass? So this was coming down towards turn 1. This is when he got Fitzpatrick, shot it up the inside. Fitzpatrick gives him plenty of room. Up through 1 and then up into 2, 3. So he either had contact or he's lost the rear end, which is very easy to do when you're on the gas a little bit too early through these corners.
Someone's out there wide.
Oh, I reckon there was a bit of net code there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was lucky that Mitch Knowlton actually straightened him out then. Mitch just gave him a little bit of love and just put him back in the right track.
Back up the front now. Crosby has now jumped Viger for P2 of this race. But the gap is 2.5 seconds up to the leader in Jamie Davis at the moment. Viger and Crosby have had such a strong run this season across the first 4 rounds. Viger was a little bit unlucky last Tuesday night, but he's had some good runs early on in the season. Billy Mole as well. He's been a little bit of a dark horse, one of those little silent assassins, as I like to call them, where he just picks off opponents, and eventually you see him at the end of the season and he's suddenly like P4, P3 in the championship just because he's being consistent and may not be winning races, but he's getting podiums, getting top 5s, and he's showing up week in and week out. So he'll be one to keep an eye on throughout the rest of this season. Daly's having a good run tonight as well, Steve. He's got Cowie in behind him. These two boys, you have to say, though, I know Cowie's a musician, but these two boys have been having more hits than Elvis in the first half of the season. So we'll see if they can tidy it up throughout the rest of the season. Not always their fault, of course. Sometimes racing incidents happen. But they just seem to find each other week in and week out. And I see them together and I'm like, oh, is one of them going to hit each other tonight, or are they going to keep it clean? So we'll have to see how they go in the last half of the season.
You tend to you have these seasons where you tend to find the same driver all the time, and you're like, what am I doing? Why do we keep meeting each other on track? What's going on? Is there a hidden agenda here, or what's going on? But it's just one of those things. Sometimes you just end beside each other, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, it's almost like metaphor would be they're almost magnetized to each other, but it sometimes just comes down to they're that similar of pace. Eventually you're going to come together and be together on track because you're lapping about the same pace, and one of you might get caught in a battle, so the other one catches up. So everyone kind of just files into their own little battle pack, and I think both Cowie and Daly have got that similar pace discrepancy between them. That's why they're always together, because they are as quick as each other.
100%.
Week in and week out. So.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I agree. Battle packs that were starting to form again, as we always see, but at the moment the timing tower is majority yellow and orange. The closest thing we're seeing at the moment is Daly, Cow and Burridge. They're sitting in 5/10s and 3/10s. And then the boys behind them, Mitch Noble has got Sean Van der Meulen and Steve Kennedy pressuring with, there's 1/10 and 3/10s there. Looks like he's just made that 0/10s and gone for the inside line. Hopefully Mitch will just take it easy. I've asked him to just keep the beast inside and take it smooth.
There. He has
that was
smart.
good.
Just let Sean have it. I mean, he had the run down the straight. Take your opportunity. It's 14 minutes into the session. There's no point battling like it's the last lap at this stage. Learn your opponents.
And he's 5 places up too,
Exactly.
so there's nothing wrong with that. He's above the pace that he's shown in qualies. So he's probably not got the best setups at the moment as well. So he's probably battling the setup as well at the same time. But it's good to see that he's nearly lost the rear end then. Just took the curb a little bit too hard, and then the rear end starting to play. He's actually battling the rear end a lot there from looking at it. Looks like it's wiggling on him like crazy.
I mean, it is good to see he is starting to race a little bit smarter, not harder at this point in time. He has got Kennedy
bit
in
of pressure
behind.
there.
There was.
Yeah, well, he's got one of the fastest guys on tracks right behind him at the moment, and my suggestion would be let him go when you get a chance and get behind him and stay behind him, because where Kennedy goes going forward, he's going to go forward a long way, and be able to stay behind him and watch him and follow his line is going to be very beneficial.
Not just that, Kennedy could be the key to opening the door on Sean Van der Meulen as well. So you can let him go, let him create the space. That's a big dive! Oh, that's not good, Mitch. Bit overzealous.
That's going to go to RC. There was a bit of overlap there, so I'm not sure if the door was closed or not, or if the drive was too late, what the case will be, but they'll have a look at that.
I think personally, in my opinion, that was a lick the stamp and throw the letter into the mailbox. That was a full send, and he has just disappeared off track as well. So a couple of internet issues here from Mitchy Noble. But again, it's all a bit of learning, of course, as well, Steve.
Yeah.
But I think, taking the time, as a team owner myself, one thing that I say to my drivers as well is, this can go out to anyone, not just obviously you, Steve, but anyone. If you're a team owner, if you're a team member, and one of your teammates may be making mistakes, every week or every couple of weeks, just get some footage and go through the footage with them and say, hey, next time you're in this position, maybe this is what you should do instead of what you did here, and this is how you can avoid these sorts of things, and use it as a learning experience, not as a not yelling, but not as a sparring.
So
experience.
give you a bit of headsight. So Mitch is actually supposed to be serving a 1 week off this week because he had the 10 points he accumulated. So the boys are in session and just realised that and removed him during the session, which is unfortunate because he was originally had 9 points and he was clear, and then he copped another point in the following race, I believe, which got him to 10 points, which gave him a week off. So I'll have to find out, see when he's actually back.
I think Liam Miles has actually gotten himself in the bad books here with race control because he's actually towed back to pits, and I don't think we heard anything over the radio for him calling for a tow. So I think Isles might be in the bad books here because I've seen him. He's gone off track. He came back on track, and then he jumped straight to pits. So unless he's found the door to the Shadow Realm, then that might be a penalty coming his way.
Well, Chris Burrows is actually set the fastest lap at the moment. He's got a 1:50.199. So he's blistering it, and he's following Cowie at the moment, and Cowie's following Travis Daly. So we've got a nice little tight bunch there as well. There's everywhere I look, mate, the battles are going like crazy. Fitzpatrick's on Quash. I reckon there's going to be a pass there soon. He's like 0.2 on him, 2/10. Wherever you look, there's something going on and something exciting.
We almost need like 4 producers for some of these races just so we can have like 4 views of all the battles on track. Like just to give us all little things.
Fight your way up and down the field and try to get where we can. Viewers out there, everyone's gone a bit quiet. Last one we had was Gerard Cifuentes saying, "Come on, Cowie." Cowie's doing actually really well. He's probably he's sitting at a nice, comfortable position in 6th where he doesn't have to go too hard and can hopefully maintain his tyres and not burn them out like he did on Sunday night.
Yeah, that was one of the big. It wasn't even just Sunday. Even on Tuesday, he burned the tyres out as well. I mean, both attempts at Silverstone, they burned out. I do know for a fact that these drivers can go probably about 28 laps on tyres. They will start to hurt after 28 laps, but it can be done. It's a long time on a set of tyres around here, but you can do it. And they don't really burn off too quickly when they're like that. This track and this tyre model is kind of like they'll start to go away after a little bit, but then they come back into their own again. And you can actually find quite a bit of pace out of them when they're a bit worn and they're not so green anymore as well.
We're a third of the way through, and currently, let's switch it to the Pro and AMs. Not that it's that hard to work out. Can you switch the ladder over across so we can see that now? Taylor, Martin, and Schultz are the 1, 2, 3 for the AMs, and in the top spot, it's Mr. Crosby. And Davis and Rick Vigor. So the boys are putting on a bit of a show everywhere. Davis is not giving up that that position at all.
This was the move that got Darren Crosby up into P1 on Davis. We missed it when it happened. It was nice and simple into turn 1. Davis didn't want to wrestle him for it there. He knows it's a long one, and he'll hope to come back at him later in the race. We can see, I mean, even though Crosby's caught him and passed him, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to run away from Jamie now.
Not at all.
You know, if Jamie's within tow range, he should be able to keep it here. If these guys start battling again, it's going to drag, you know, Rick in as well as Billy, and we may even see Daly, Cowan, and Burridge coming if those guys can keep it clean in behind as well. We can see them in the background there. They're still battling it out hard as we come through 13 and 14.
Yeah, Burridge is all over the back of Cowie like crazy. But Cowie's actually driving a smoother line than Burridge is at the moment. Burridge is doing a bit of weaving, getting in the mirrors, and I'm not sure that's going to do him much good for pace and for his tyres. So let's see how this plays out a little bit. It's Cowie's is probably the smoothest I've seen him for a bit here. He needs to focus forward, really, not back. So if he starts focusing backwards, he's going to start diminishing his times.
Burridge wants it up towards turn 1. Cowie covers the outside. Burridge made him move up the inside. He comes, but Cowie late under the brakes, manages to hold the line, but Burridge just wants to sneak it up the inside here, but Cowie should still have this here. He has the inside line for the next corner. Burridge remains in behind of him.
Nice bit of drive by both drivers, and Cowie's maintained pace by going out wide there and taking the slightly longer route, but he held the pace through it, which brought him back in front of Burridge quite comfortably.
Couple of drivers into the pits now, Stephen Kennedy and Stephen Martin. So they have come in for what could be their first stop here tonight. If they're coming in now, you have to say they're going to have to do 2 stops here tonight, but we'll have to wait and see on the back of that one.
Yeah, well, what are we at? We're
lap 12, 21 and a half minutes in. So they came in just about 20 and a half minutes in.
Based on that time, you'd assume there'd have to be another one straight away. See who can take it a bit longer. Will he take a bit less fuel? Will he go for the full long stint and take a little short nip at the end? We'll see. Battle packs have slowed down a little bit. Everyone's sort of paced about. I think everyone's coming up to the point deciding whether they go a little bit longer or they go in shorter and get their pit strategy under control. Everywhere we see at the moment, looking at 1 second, 6 second, 1 second, 2 seconds apart from Quashi and Pringle on the back of Van der Meulen. And then you've got Clutterbuck on Taylor. And then you've got your little batter pack at the front with Travis Daly, Cowan, Burridge, and Viggo, Crosby and Mole. Now, is that Billy Mole's real name?
I think so. I don't know.
Or is he decided to take on the persona of Billy Mole, the young fellow who lost his legs in Formula Renault, whatever it was, in the UK?
Maybe it is him. Who knows? Maybe he's come to Australia and is doing supercars now.
Yeah. Chances are.
No. Yeah, I'm about to say chances are no. Yeah, come on. Burridge is down the pits as well. So I'd say we are getting into pit stop territory at this stage. Looking like it is going to be a 2-stopper here tonight, Steve. So it'd be interesting to see how this sort of strategy plays out. Now, do you reckon maybe, just maybe, that instead of limiting fuel so then drivers have to do 2 stops, that the league introduces maybe 2 compulsory stops and then they kind of have to work around it and have a bit of strategy involved?
I don't think we'll ever go compulsory stops. We're probably more likely to play with fuel strategies, and I think tyres are going to be an issue when the rain comes as well. So that'll be a whole different model again.
I guess if it's Melbourne weather and it goes from sunny days to pouring with rain, then it could really shake up a whole strategy anyway, and it might mean that drivers who have got a spotter who can keep an eye on the radar may do better than drivers who can't, because they're just going to have a bit more of an idea. Viger is now up into P2 of this race as well. He's gotten around Crosby. Davis is also back into the lead. We'll find the replay for you. This was how Davis got into P1 over Crosby here. Was it? Oh, Crosby just ran it wide and had to slow it up. Viger snuck on through too.
Break point. Yeah. Lucky to hold it on. Lucky to hold it on.
That was good though from Weiger. He just kind of snuck it up there. He realised that Crosby made the mistake, and then just forced him to keep it out wide. And he was like, "No, I'll have that position, thank you very much." As Crosby wants it now through 3. Him and Davis too wide up towards turn 4 and 5. He has to back out of it. Billy Mole's all over the back of him as well. So this could be a little bit of triple threat action here out at Mugello between these boys if they can keep it nice and tidy. Down through the Casanova they come. Then through the bottom of the roller coaster. It's been a good run from a lot of these boys here tonight, Steve, as they come around the Arabiatas. They're really offering us some really good examples of door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel action in these cars. Couple of little moments here and there, but they're doing exceptionally well to keep it clean up to this point.
Yeah, they're the team, the boys across here everywhere. It's like what we were discussing. Someone said three safety cars. You can see why not. It just seems to be when they come to a tight, hard track that's new to everyone just takes that little bit extra care and just drives that little bit extra special. The first time we went to Mid-Ohio when it was a brand new track, there was 40-something cars on it. Everyone goes, "Oh, this is stupid. This is going to be carnage." And it was one of the best races we had. Go back and watch it. I think it was back in when was it? Oh, season 1. So it would have been 2021. Season 1. So get back there and watch it. It was the very, very first race as SRW for the V8s. Absolute classic.
Couple of comments here from old mate Jacko saying it's pizza time, then saying he loves you, Steve, but not me. Thanks, Jacko. Appreciate it, mate.
Thanks, buddy. Always love to feel the love out there.
Yeah, it's good. Daly, Bush in the pits now as well, Steve. So we are right into pit stop territory at this stage. I wonder, do we know what the starting fuel was here tonight? I know that 80 litres gets you to about lap 20. So do we reckon maybe it was 70, maybe 65 litres was the starting fuel if they get to this point?
Mate. I will tell you exactly what it was.
Very good.
Tonight was fuel restriction was at 50%.
Okay, so they've got 55 litres in the tank. So these boys shouldn't be able to go very much longer then, because it is about 3.7 litres when you're in the pack, about 3.9 when you're in clean air. So it's I don't know how much further they could go, because I know for a fact that 80 litres gets you to lap 20. So it could be crunch time now for these pit stops. They're just trying to get to halfway to force the one stop.
Well, you've got 30 minutes now. We've hit the 30-minute mark now. So those who have pitted now
in the session we have, it's not race time though, because obviously of the 3-minute countdown, that's why it would hit 30 minutes. But we are 27:45 into the actual race since green. Yep. So we got about 2 minutes when they cross the line till that 30-minute mark. As Weiger, Davis, and Mole are in, Crosby's going for another lap. So is it crunch time for the M1 car? He wants
a bit of a bump and grind into that pits then. Jackson and I can't see who was it. That was Jackson
Mole and Davis.
Jackson and Billy Mole came into contact on the way into the pits just then.
Oh, I can see the damage on the front of Jamie Davis's car. Yeah. He's run up the back of someone, but Crosby and Cowie trying to get to that half an hour mark so they can get halfway point of this race and then one stop to the end. So they don't want to be fuel saving as much as the other boys at the end of the race. This could be the play here, Steve. If they can make it home, make it to pits and not lose too much time, then they're going to be at the advantage come the end of this race.
Yeah. Oh, mate, let's see how they go. I think Cowie and Crosby are going to peel away here. They're on low fuel. They're going to get that overcut, and then off they go. The boys are coming out of the pit now, side by side as well, if you can't see them. I can see them on my screen. Oh, I think that might have been an illegal exit of that pit for Billy Mole, because he's crossed the white line. He might get a drive-through for that by iRacing, because they came out 2 by 2. If you can see the replay, it was pretty hot on.
We'll get it now. So This was the contact that you mentioned on the inner to the pit stop. This was Mole coming in. Oh, it was a big checkup from Viger onto Davis, and then Mole didn't want to collect them either. That could have been poorly for them, but they did well. And then this was Mole leaving pits. So it was this him crossing that white line? So he should drop and then leave the pit lane. Yep, he's just dropped. He comes out. And what's he done? He's coming out ahead of Davis as well. Has he crossed the white line? Oh, they're too wide. Nah, I'd say that isn't. That's not illegal, I'd say, but because they've come too wide, and then I think there was a little bit of net code involved. That's kind of what's led to them being pushed wide slightly. So
yeah,
that could be one for race control. I don't know. I think Davis realistically should have just filtered in behind Billy. He was in the fast lane first.
No one's called anything in. So that was the interesting bit. No one's called it in. So they've gone and they've kept going. So that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
Cowan and Crosby are in. They've done their stop. Burridge now leads the race. He came in slightly early. He will need at least, I would say, 2 more pit stops in this one, Steve. He did come in 3 laps before the other cars, so I'd say he is fairly out of sync at this point.
Yeah,
I'd make the claim that Viger is actually provisional leader, being that he will only need, he'll need no more stops to get home, and Burridge will need at least 1 more. So I'd say it's going to be a real tight contest for Burridge to get home from here. We'll have to wait and see. Jason Douglas in the chat, if this was real life, they would have to jump in behind. Yeah, so if it was real life, yeah,
Pringle drive through.
So
Pringle's got himself drive through for that contact earlier on.
That was on lap 13. So what contact did he have? Lap 13. We'll find the replay.
Pringle's in. He's doing his drive through now. Best lap now, Burridge, 150.199, still the best lap. No one's even come close. Oh, they have come close, but not that close. Your best laps, Vigor, 477, 375 from Davis, 451, 425 from Crosby. Those top 5 at the top are very, very close on pace.
That was the contact with Pringle and Quash there. We'll get another one of Pringle's on board here of what's happened. So he's come round up towards turn 12. Oh, and he's just sent it, and they've just had it coming together. That's a. I know Jackson's an amateur, and it's actually that's turn 10. But I know he's an amateur, but that there is an amateur move from him there. I know it's a new track, and he should learn from that as well. Yeah, so he had called it in earlier, and Pringle just got that penalty. So I wonder if Quashin's had another one.
No, there's another one. He's just called another one in just now. I heard it live on the chat. So he's been involved in something else somewhere. Adam Jepson's pitting in. That's everyone pitted now. Everyone is pitted. Jepson was the last of the drivers to pit. Oh no, he's pitted twice now.
Turning to track, but I'm not sure. But Viger all over the back of Burridge now. You mentioned Jepson is in. It should be his final stop of the race, I would say. A couple of cars are out of the contest, of course. Josh King, Liam Isles, he was taken out because he towed back to pits without permission. Simpson's out. Vandercraan never got started, and then Mitchie Noble unfortunately shouldn't have been out there at all due to a round ban from SRW. But it'll be good to see how he goes on his return next week, Steve, to all SRW competition. Obviously,
he'll be fine, mate. He's going to be racing in the room with me, and hopefully you'll have a couple of fresh drivers to help him out in the V8s by then. So we'll get him practicing and primed for a stellar comeback.
Maybe as well he can kind of maybe if he watches the Hockenheim round of IMSA where me and JP talk about getting that racecraft up a little bit, maybe he can go do some officials, try and get his license up to Class A, focus on that safety rating and trying to get as safe as possible on track, and then he can have a good old proper crack in the future.
It's more just it's just more ambition and the beast inside, mate. You're used to racing a different format altogether where you can get away with some of those moves. Whereas in this, it's a little bit more real world. You just can't do them. So it's just adapting the style. That's all it is. You just got to tame the beast, and he'll be fine. I've got 100% faith in him.
I mean, that was kind of one of the reasons why I was saying if you were to do officials, because there's no better way to learn this sim than to run yourself through the categories, through the officials, get your license up, learn as many different types of driving as possible, or focus on one kind of car really up through the rankings, and at the same time as well get used to the sim. You know, it's kind of why you see those A-class drivers do so well, is because they have spent time on track in those officials to learn how the car handles and how to get the most out of something on iRacing.
Got Schultz on the back of Martin, 2/10, putting a heap of pressure on him.
See it here. Martin had that off track before, and he kind of came out right ahead of Schultz. So it's been a long time coming.
Really going for it. 2 by 2
into the Casanova. They come.
Hold it off.
That was a nice move from Schultz there. Just snuck it up the inside. Martin let him have it. P13 goes to Schultz, and we continue on. 35 minutes.
Schultz would be in his seat right now and going, "Yeah, baby, yeah, baby." Pretty much word for word, mate. He gets a bit excited when he does a pass like that.
Yeah, that was a real put it on your resume type of move, I reckon, for Schultz.
Yeah. He's a funny character. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there. Oh, you don't need to do that. You need to use the full width of the track there. I think he was trying to get back to the left quicker than he needed to. Who's this in the pits now?
It's Davis. Oh, show that. It's Davis coming in.
Is that a drive-through?
Possibly. We'll wait and see. Yeah, I don't see any contact. Have you heard anything from race control? No, he's in. He's underfueled the car.
He's pitting.
So maybe he's underfueled.
Maybe he's underfueled, or he's going for the second pit and go all the way to the end. I'm not sure what the hell that was.
Maybe it's to save some fuel saving, but he's going to lose a lot of time on the cars ahead of him.
Yeah, that's put him completely out of sync now.
That's interesting. I wonder why. Like, he made it. Although, oh no, actually no, he did make. He came in. Remember, 2 minutes before the halfway point of the race, so we were questioning whether him and Liger would have to fuel save, where Crosby and Cowie came in the lap later and they were at the halfway point. So maybe they've got just that little bit extra amount of fuel in the car that they can actually go that little bit further than what Viger and Davis can, as well as Mole. So maybe we have to wait and see.
We've got two pit strategies now that are going to unfold and collide at the 60-minute mark.
That's it, mate. So we could be on for an interesting tale come the end of this race.
Viger came in at lap 15.
He came in the same lap that Davis did. He's P2 just behind Burridge. We know Burridge will need a pit again. Mole is just behind, about 2.2 seconds off the back. He'll need to pit again. He came in on the same lap as Davis and Viger. So this could be race changing at this stage. I mean, we're coming up to 22 minutes left in the race. Davis has come in a lot earlier than what you'd expect him to, but maybe he's come in now so he has more time to put the attack on.
Not only that,
rushing to the end.
Going in for that little dip at the end, maybe getting the tyres ready, getting the car hot. And, you've got to adapt the car straight away. It doesn't matter if it's only a quick pit or not. The tyres still cool down a little bit. Maybe he just wants to go for hell for leather at the end. I know we used to do that in the when we first started the F3s. We wanted the strategy was either go late and go for a dip, or it was go early and get the tyres warm, so that when those people were going in for the pit would come out, because it'd take 3 or 4 laps for the cars back then to warm up the tyres. You'd gain an advantage because you'd already be up to heat. So who knows? I talk a lot of crap, don't I?
So Rick Viger now leads the way. He got the move done on Burridge into turn 1. It was a nice one too. We've got a bit of a battle happening a little bit further back in the field between Jeremy Bush and Craig Healy at this stage in time. Both of them have had a strong run so far. Bush into the top 10. Craig's teammate Scotty Weston up into P9 as well. So these boys having a nice run, and they've got the man on the mission right now, Jamie Davis, in behind them. He was the man on our lips per se, and he's the man on the question really, Stevie, of why did he come in early? Does it mean that the other boys who came in on lap 15 need to come in again? Or is he trying to just force them to save fuel and he can go, as you mentioned, hell for leather?
Yeah, it could be the case. You know, when you're backing off on the clutch and rolling through it and trying to save fuel, it's going to damage your pace a bit. And you look at him now; he's just tearing through the field. His lap times now at the moment. Let's see when he crosses the start finish. Andrew Cowan's gone in now.
So Travis Daly.
Oh, sorry, Travis Daly. Yeah.
Cowie stayed out, so Daly is in. When did he hit?
Davis is going in underneath. He's making a nice clean move. Done really well. Let's see how his time goes for his last lap. Here he comes over the finish line now.
A 50.6, so he's lapping about 2 to 3 seconds faster than the cars around him right
at the
now.
front. Yeah, and the boys at the front as well. He's a second and a 10th. He's about a second behind what the boys are doing up front, so that's not too bad either. So you're looking at a second. How far back is he on them?
If we go to gap, we can see how far he's off the leader. He's 32.392 off the back of the leader at the moment. So
unless they pit, he's going to struggle to do anything with them. He's going to catch up. He'll probably get up to about 5th or 6th, somewhere around there, up to about Clutterbuck's or in front of Clutterbuck. But it's going to struggle to get anywhere past that with the amount of time he's got left. Steve Martin's the biggest mover of the night. He's sitting in 16th, sorry, 13th, and he's up 9 places.
He is. He's done very, very well to get up that many spots here tonight. Biggest gainer of the race, as you mentioned, 9 spots up. Second most positions gained goes to Burridge and Fitzpatrick. They're both up 6 spots in this race.
Yeah.
So been a good run here for Mr. Martin, even with the off-track that he had and losing the spot to Schultze. He's done very well so far. Davis and Bush are battling it out. There's a little bit of contact, bit of a rub between them. And now Davis, pardon the pun, he will be locked on to the back of Jeremy Bush's entry in front of him. I know, that was poor. It was a cheap one.
I need one of those drum cymbal things.
Up the inside comes Davis, though. He makes it look easy. Bush gives him the room. Doesn't want to be under pressure, though, from Healy in behind. And now Davis wants to run down the straight. McElroy saying the lead battle is hot. Let's head up to it. Here it is hot. It's between Viger and Burridge. 0.2 seconds is the gap. 2 tenths, under 2 tenths now between them. So it is just starting to heat up. The intensity is rising. The pressure gauge is just starting to go off between Burridge and Viger. The question marks are in the air. When do these boys have to pit? We reckon that Burridge definitely does. We are questionable on Viger. So that is what the narrative is looking at the moment here, Steve. Is that
it looks like a couple of drivers who just sort of spiked their heat levels at the moment. You know, like even stay with the guys we are there. It's like Jeremy Davis and Craig Healy are hot on the back of Jamie Davis, and then you've got all the way down Jackson being chased down by Kwashi. It's the boys are starting to pipe up and they're getting ready because they know they're running out of laps now. That's time to make a move and get things going. We are down to what about 15 minutes of time left, somewhere around there.
Just over that. So
if you're going to make a lunge for the top 5, now's the time to do it.
Had no safety cars just yet. He did say it was either going to be 0 or 1. It's looking more like 0. Mole is in.
What's going on there?
Billy Mole is in the lane.
He's in the pits.
So I would say now it is almost definite. I know how good Viger is at fuel saving, but I reckon it should almost be definite that he would need to come in. Kennedy's also in.
Kennedy's in. Let's see where Davis comes out against these guys. He's going to be, the strategy for them's worked because he's going to be at least 4th or 5th when they come through. You've got Cowan's still going to have to pit. He pitted at lap, 16?
Mole's at the exit.
So he went the longest with Crosby at 16.
Davis Davis came in 15. Cowan and Crosby lap 16. We reckon that might be enough for them to get home. So are we looking at a scenario now, Steve, where Crosby is provisional P1 and Cowie is provisional P2? Is that the scenario that's on hand?
Well, it is, but Cowie's also provisional P1 for the... Oh, no, he's a Pro-Am, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. He's doing well, doing really well. I think Tyson will be a happy man. He's got Cowie doing well out there. He's got... where'd Schultze go? Schultze's back to 17th. So he's still having a great fight out there. Where's his other driver? His other driver is Martin. He's doing well. He's up 2 places. So once the pit strategies level out, I think those boys are going to be up a bit further in the standings. But knock on wood, keep the fights going, lads. Vigor and Burridge, there always seems to be a M1 car up the front of the field pushing everyone.
Which Martin are you speaking about, Steve?
Is it Steve Martin that's in his team?
No, he's in Pacific Esports Racing.
No, it's the other one. Where is he?
There's no other Martin out there. Are you thinking of Travis Daly, who used to be from Performance Sim Racing and is now MSR?
Who was driving for him? There was one more.
I don't know. Not 100%
We'll see
sure.
on screen. It was
Jetson's
one
out
more.
there
I can't
still.
remember what it is, though.
So it's Leslie Martin rolling around at the moment, P20. Michael Quash is down the order a little bit. Jackson Pringle just ahead of him. Schultze, who we mentioned. We've got Jeremy Bush, and then Brett Taylor still going strong, as well as Walden just up the road. Vandermeulen doing well. Kennedy doing well. Fitzpatrick just outside the top 10. He's up 10 spots. Daly's into the top 10. Mole into the 10. So is Healy. So is Weston. Davis is up to P6. The question is, can he get onto that podium? Clutterbuck doing well at the moment. Cowan, provisional P2. Crosby, provisional P1. And this is the battle for first. Weigart versus Burridge.
Big move for Cowan tonight. It's good to see him up there. As Tyson said, fuel should be good to see. I hope Cowie can make it in one. Well, if he doesn't make it, Crosby won't, because they've been pretty close to each other for the latter part of the race. And if you look at their last lap, there's not much in it. There's maybe two and a bit tenths, nearly 3 tenths. So if Cowie's saving, so is Crosby. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, for Tyson's sake, if they are going to be short, it'll be Crosby that'll splutter first, and then Cowan. But both doing an exceptional drive. Oh, we go. Rick Vickers in.
So Burridge stays out. I reckon he stayed out here to help give Crosby some slipstream and save some fuel. I reckon this is the play now. He wants Burridge is out there for another lap. Help pull Crosby on for a little
close
bit.
enough for slipstreaming there.
He's up to nearly a second. He'll let him through here, up through 2 and 3, and get him closer. Oh my God, he's letting him go. Is he out of fuel already? Did he go?
He looks like he's stuttering.
Nah, he's just let him go.
Oh, okay. I thought the car, it might have been the on-screen action. It looked like the car was spluttering at that point.
Yeah, I thought
Craig
maybe
Healy's
I didn't forget to come
Weston's in. So that's going to open up the doors for Fitzpatrick and Kennedy to move their way up. I'd assume that some of these boys are going to go for 2. So Fitzpatrick's still the pit.
He'll need
Who
one.
else
He
is
came in
above
lap
them?
14.
We've got Clutterbuck, who's out of order as well. He needs to pit again. And then the question's going to be, how are they going to go with Cowan, Burridge and Crosby? Whether they are going to need to pit again or not.
Well, I would say, I think Burridge is a foregone conclusion, being he came in lap 12. Came in the earliest of the current runners left on track. So I'd say that he definitely would need to. Crosby and Cowan are the ones with the question marks over their heads at this stage. Davis has now gotten past Clutterbuck, so he moves into provisional P3, as Clutterbuck will need to pit anyway, and so will Burridge. So it could be on here for the final 10 or so minutes here, Steve. It's getting good. It's getting nice and tasty. The strategy is coming into the forefront, which
100%.
could have been predicted, being that we know that the amateurs and the pro-ams, they're not necessarily the combination
Burridge is
to
in.
go for it.
Burridge is in. So Burridge is in. He'll probably come out somewhere after Rick Vigor, I'd say, between him and Billy Mole, maybe. Michael Quash has just called something into race control, some contact.
Yeah, I'm not quite seeing anything on my
At
instant
26,
report.
turn 1.
Could possibly be this one here. And I think it might be. So.
Burridge is coming out now. Vigor is, oh, look at that. Burridge is coming right down the back of, no, he's backed off there. Travis Daly, Burridge are close. You've got Rick Vigor on the back. He just passed Daniel Clutterbuck. So I was going to say there's going to be close. There's 2 tenths between these boys at the moment.
So there's Burridge who's just come out. He's come out ahead of Fitzpatrick. And behind Daly, Viger is now P4 on the road. The question is, can Crosby and Cowan make it on only one stop? They are the only 2 drivers who can possibly make it on one stop at this point. They came in lap 16, right on the brink of fuel. We've got 9.5 minutes to go really here, Steve. Lap 27. It's now all or nothing for the M1 car and the Performance Sim Racing car of Crosby and Cowan up in the top 2. They've got a hell of a gap. I mean, Crosby's got a 17-second gap back to Davis. He's got a 10-second gap back to Cowie. So Cowie's now got to contend with the 7-second gap of Davis. So maybe the question is, does Davis catch Cowie here before the end of the race and pip him for P2?
Yeah, possibly. I'm just... The race control was just after readdressed. I couldn't quite hear the numbers then.
Yeah, but it would have been for Pringle and Quash. So Pringle had kind of locked it up into one. We showed the replay before and then kind of gave Quash a little bit of a tap with the rear end of his car on the front of Quash's. So when I saw that, I thought, yeah, it's either going to be a no further action or maybe a redress. So that's a fair decision there from race control, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. We lost a few drivers now. We've lost Anderson, King, Noble, Liam, Adam Simpson, and Vanderkrant as well.
Anderson's actually still out there, surprisingly enough.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's still rolling. He is a fair bit off the leaders, so he's been in and out of the lane.
Yeah, sorry, I apologise. He is. Yes, Josh, the one that's out.
So yeah, but Crosby leads to Andrew Cowan, to Jamie Davis, to Rick Viger, Daniel Clutterbuck, top 5. Then it's Daly, Mole, Burridge, Kennedy, Fitzpatrick. That's the 10. Walden, Taylor, Bush, Weston, Healy. That's the 15. As it stands.
2 hot ones going there, mate. Fitzpatrick, he's just passed him. I was about to say Fitzpatrick's putting pressure on Kennedy, but he just passed him. Then you got Billy Mole on the back of Travis Daly as well. And then now our last battle pack is Taylor, Bush, and Weston and Healy. All 4 cars following each other like a bit of a road train.
This is a little vet split 2 action for us on a Tuesday night, Steve. That's a bit different. Normally these boys have a little battle on a Saturday night, so now they get to do it on a Tuesday as well whilst they're in the off season for that series. So these guys battling it out hard. Bush wants it down the inside. Sorry, around the outside at turn 4 of Taylor. Not quite close enough.
Yeah, I don't mind it down the outside either.
He might want it down the inside though at the Casanova. Get a good run. Not quite close enough to do it. Taylor will continue to lead these boys on up through the Arabiatas here down at turn 8 and 9 as they come around the big double right-hander. So it's such a fast and difficult piece of circuit to get right. We saw Crosby in qualifying run out wide on the AstroTurf, get on the gas a bit too early and just wiggle the rear end, and that ended one of his laps for him during that qualifying period.
I'm going to be a happy man right now because he's got his lead driver in 2nd position for the Pro-Ams, and in the AMs, Schultze is
P3.
P3. Yeah,
so
doing really well
as well into P3. So
yeah. So there'll be a bit of a happy dance going. Who's pitted just then? That's Clutterbuck is pitted, so it's the last of the last savers. These guys are still going. Their lap times, Crosby's lap time 1:52.3. So that last lap was one of his slowest for a fair while. Cowan a 1:51.8. So Cowan's a little bit faster on there. Davis 1:51.3. So he's still He's doing a second on Crosby, and on that lap it was about just over half a second on Cowan. So he's hunting them down. Will he have enough time? That's a question.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this battle pack going back there, mate. You've got to get a load of these boys. Clutterbuck, Taylor, and Bush and Weston Healy. They're just close as the boys are having a sniff either way. Oh, a little bit of wiggle there from Weston, I think it was.
Also just confirming to the drivers that will still need to pit in this race, we would assume. Include Blake Fitzpatrick, currently P9, Darren Walton in P10, and then Jackson Pringle back in P18, as well as David Leslie in P21. Brad Anderson as well, we suspect, needs another stop. He came in lap 15, so a couple of drivers still need to come in. Crosby and Cowan, they came in lap 16. The team boss of Performance and Racing says the fuel is all good for Cowie's car, so maybe the question mark is less of a capital question mark.
Yeah, we can make it in one.
He hopes he can. Bit of a double-edged sword there. He says he's got enough fuel, but then he's also hoping that he can make it. He's not guaranteeing it. So
you just never know. That the little bit extra pressure that you're putting on and chasing down. He's driving a little bit faster. He's got that last lap was a 152.3, and then you've got Jamie Davis a 151. So he's kept chasing them like crazy. He's leaving nothing on the table. He's in the sprint mode, and these guys are in management mode.
Car 991 saving fuel at this point. Who is it? It's Andrew Cowan. Oh, he's letting us know through the race control channel that he's saving fuel. Oh my God.
What's he doing in there? Tell him to Cowie, concentrate on the driving, mate. Don't worry about giving us info. We know you're saving.
No, it's I think it's Tyson telling us that he's saving fuel from that channel.
I was going to say, please focus, Cowie. I don't want to see you lose this one, mate. You've got yourself in a great position following the legendary Crosby across that line. Again, their times are still looking good. But I think that Davis has left it too late, mate. He's going to have to be happy, I think, with a top 3 finish. I can't see him making up the time he's lost in that pit stop.
Yeah,
unless these boys run out of fuel and do him a favour.
Yeah, I tend to agree. He's actually dropped a heap of time off the back of Cowan now. Cowan's 15 seconds ahead of him up the road, and Cowie's actually gained a heap of time on Crosby as well. He's now within 6 seconds. Thank you for helping us, Tyson. We appreciate you giving us the info nonetheless. And it also gave us a good little laugh seeing that come through the race control channel as well. On board now, though, with Craig Healy, P14 on the road at this stage, we suspect is provisional P12, with a couple of drivers needing a pit stop just up the road from him here. But he is in an intensifying battle right now. 5 cars on track. Healy, Weston, Bush, Clutterbuck, Taylor. They're all battling it out here for the back of the 10 and possibly even upwards of P9, I would say, being that Walden needs to come in. So actually Healy is provisional P13 as Fitzpatrick has come into the pits. So we're going to be on here for a good couple of last minutes here, Steve.
Jason Douglas has put in, I would be surprised if these guys get around to the cool-down lap. You know what? If that was me, I wouldn't care. You know why? Next round's a sprint. So it doesn't matter. You might go rear regret for the first heat, but you're not for the second heat, eh? So I would be putting it all the money on the table and just go flat out for it from here on in. How many minutes they got left? This is the last few laps.
2 minutes left. So where's the leader at this stage? Darren Crosby. Sorry that we've clicked away from that battle for a second there. Clutterbuck has just gotten Taylor. We will get that back on a replay for everyone.
Oh, Taylor and Bush are swapped as well.
So Crosby's coming round now towards the final corner. So say we're going to have 1 lap left after he crosses the line. Clutterbuck has now gotten Taylor. This was how it happened. It was down into turn 1. We clicked off in the dying embers of it, really, right at the crescendo. He cut it up the inside. It was a nice little move. Taylor tried to hold the outside line. Bush wanted it too, but that inside line is so strong at 2 that it forced Bush just to slot in behind.
Bush was unlucky not to get advantage of that. I think Taylor just took the right line when he had to then. And I'll tell you what, some quality driving by all 4 of those drivers then. Alrighty. Is Barney waving that magic white flag?
I think he has. We are less than 2 minutes left. Crosby's coming up through 2 and 3 at this late. It is white flag. Thank you, race control.
Yes.
We have
Excellent.
got a comment here from Inst1NXX. Let's go, Cowie. WTF, let's go. So even he's surprised by Cowie's performance here tonight. But what can you do but laugh? He is gaining like heck here on Crosby up here. I reckon Crosby is full fuel save mode at this stage. He is full clutch in. I wouldn't be surprised. He's clutching down the hill even as well. So Cowie is gaining on him at a rate of knots. We could see them both come across the line together at this stage. It's full
can
push.
Smell the blood. He's like a shark in the water, mate. He can smell that blood, and he's going for a hell of a leather. And you know what? Crosby's got no choice but to do what he can do here and just try to get across the line by the look of it.
You could hear the clutch in through the Arabiata 2 there for Cowie. Clutching down through turn 10 and 11 as we make our way around. I think Crosby's got this at this stage. The gap may be too insurmountable unless he were to run out of fuel. Cowie's going to come around turn 12. Crosby's just there. Gap is 2.5 seconds. If it was a lap longer, you'd argue, well, maybe Cowie maybe would actually get past him, but, well, they may not even make another lap under the fuel, so you can't even really make that claim. 1 quarter left. Crosby round turn 15. After a heavily strategic run for these two boys, they put on an absolute pit stop masterclass. It's Darren Crosby for round number 5 of the Warren and Brown Tools V8 Supercars series on Tuesday nights. He takes P1 out at Mugello with Cowan only 1.3 seconds in behind him at the dying embers. What a run home it was for both of those gentlemen. And, well, if they don't make it around the pit stops, they're going to be starting from the back of the field next week. But that could even give us some more carnage.
There's Jamie Davis crossing the line as well, mate, for 3rd place. Let's have a look at the fight at the back there for Taylor downwards, because they're still fighting there. There's still pressure going left, right, and centre. These guys have a few more corners to go, and they could be going either way.
All these boys still battling it out hard up towards the final corner now. It's been a great run for all of them, but Weston runs it out wide. He drops off the back of the battle pack. Clutters has broken away a little bit here from the front of the pack. Bush just ahead of Taylor. It's not going to be enough for the V Esports Mentor car, VMM Esports machine, but Taylor is going to come home P1 for the amateurs after an exceptional run here tonight. Schultze, he's going to get into P2, so it's a double P2 there for Performance Sim Racing. Martin not quite close enough in the end. He'll come home in P3 here tonight for Pacific Esports Racing.
Well, double podium for PSR, both Cowan and Schultz, so they'll be doing a bit of a yibba. Old Schultz will be dancing. He'll probably have one leg out of his rig, doing a jig, getting in that 2nd place. He'll be stoked because he came close last week as well. And Cowan, what a drive! Put the pressure on right down, got it down to 1.37 seconds. And what a killer race by these boys. They managed to do it on 1 pit while everyone else did it on a double. So they put it all on the line, and as you can see, Cowie pluttering all the way across. So I'm not sure where Crosby is, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. I reckon they've done the right thing because it's a sprint race next round. So who cares? You know?
Well, they are at quarter speed, so if they're at full speed, let's see how fast they're going. Oh, he's full speed at the moment.
Yeah.
How is he here? Oh no, yeah, he's just trying to get it back to pits at this stage. But yeah, we had the slow-mo going there for the period of time. We'll get our provisional race results up for round number 5 here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It was an exceptional run from all drivers out there, of course, but it will be Darren Crosby out of P1 for M1 Racing here tonight for round number 5 of the Warren and Brown V8 Supercars series. Out at Mugello, Andrew Counter then come home in P2 in behind, with Jamie Davis getting home onto the podium in P3. Rick Viger will then come home in P4 for Angry Birds Racing ahead of Billy Mole in P5 here tonight, with Travis Daly in behind them, as well as Stephen Kennedy and Chris Burridge. Daniel Clutterbuck and Jeremy Bush will then make up the top 10. It was a full Pro-Am top 10 here tonight. Steve, with Brett Taylor being the P1 for the amateurs and
There
P11
it is. That's what the boys are waiting to hear. Daniel Schultz and Steve Martin.
Oh, yeah, P14 and P15, P2 and 3 for their class. Healy and Weston were just in front in P12 and 13. And then we got Fitzpatrick, Vandermeulen, Walden, Pringle, making up the
I'm
top
sorry, I'm
19.
laughing because I'm listening to the boys in the chatter on track at the moment. They're all like, what?
And then we got
And they're all having a bit of a giggle and a laugh and congratulating each other. The sportsmanship out on track, people that are watching out there. Some of you guys are drivers that are out there in the chat, but you know what it's like. But those of you who don't know, the sportsmanship in this league is next to none. The boys have fun. They have a bit of a chitter chatter in the rooms afterwards, and there's no malice. It's just like you leave it on the track and you just have fun with it, and that's all there is to it.
So there were our AM and Pro-Am results as well off the back of that one. Only one non-starter here tonight. That was Peter van der Kraan. Interesting that he didn't actually end up making the start. Unfortunate for him. But have we got anyone? It was a big drift in the background there from one of the TMX cars. Who have we got in the green room at the moment? We've got Jamie Davis. We might as well drag him in and have a quick chat whilst we wait for the other boys to come and join us. Mr. Davis. If only for those top two to not have their single pit stop tonight, we would have been calling you the winner, I reckon. But how was that one for you tonight, buddy?
That's all right. These things happen. They're quite hard to save fuel when you're running around punching a hole in the air, but I'm still happy with third place in that one.
Oh, it was a great drive, mate. You definitely had the pace in the final part of the race. These boys were saving like madmen, obviously. And you were, at most points, you were Hamish, about a second and a half. You had pace on them. So we're looking good to catch them. But I think the lap counter beat you at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was praying that we could get that one extra lap. Because, I was trying to do the calculations in my head. But I'll still take the podium. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's all good, mate. The most important question, did you have fun?
Of course I had fun. Always have fun.
That's good to hear, mate. It's good to hear. Look, what? Another impeccable drive, mate. Have you practiced much on this track? Because it's a tough-looking track out there. What's it like to handle the undulation and the corners? What are they like?
I brought it at about 2 hours before the qualifying started. So I had a race run and about 2 quali simulations before qualifying started.
Well done, mate. So I'm assuming you're happy with your setup then?
Yeah, I had a mate that had access to one, and gave me the setup and stuff. But in terms of the track, it's not bad. Not meant for a supercar, but a lot of fun when the rear starts getting away and you can hold a drift.
Nice, mate. Well, it was fun watching you, mate. It was good to see you out there battling. Your cohorts didn't do too bad. One of them pulled the pin. And where is the other one? Brad Anderson's. He got up 3 places from 26th to 23rd. So not a bad effort for someone who's still getting the grips of the car.
Yeah, exactly. He's only joined probably 2-3 months ago and just jumped into the supercar for this series. So he's still very, very raw, and definitely an eye opener for him.
Yeah, good to see. Well, you keep looking after them boys, mate. You're doing a good job with them. I guess you still don't have any sponsors on your car to people to thank apart from the boys that are racing with you, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the boys I race with, or Mum, Dad, and Laura, who watch every week, and I know Laura very vocal on the chat for all the support. Thank you, commentators, series organisers, and competitors.
All right, mate. Absolute legend. Loving your work. Good to see you out the front tonight, and great qualifying. Good luck next week, sprint round. Have you had much practice at, where is it, Hamish?
Motegi.
Motegi?
Which layout, long or short?
I think it's the full layout.
I haven't done the full in a supercar, but so we'll mark me down as half a track. But it's a good track. Not bad under lights as well.
I reckon we should run the oval.
Do you reckon we should run the oval?
Yeah. 300 laps around the Motegi Oval. I reckon that's a winner.
Yeah, we'll do Gizzy proud.
Yep.
Yeah, he would do him proud. He'd probably try to join us for the session too. Well, mate, congratulations on the podium, dude. Well done. Some great racing out there as usual, and good luck for the next week for the sprint round.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Hamish.
All right, take care, brother.
There, boys.
All right, who we got next?
So we got Stephen Martin, who finished P3 So I reckon we can
Yes.
drag him. Do you want to drag Schultze in as well?
We can. Oh, no, we'll go with Steve first. How are you, Steve? How'd it go out there, mate?
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. Definitely didn't have the pace of the other boys tonight, but happy enough to kind of hold on for the bottom step of the podium was pretty good. I'd never driven the track before, bought it about 10 minutes before practice started, so was not really expecting too much. And yeah, started the practice session, I'm looking at the times, and I was probably 6 or 7 seconds off the pace, and by the end of it, I was still a couple of seconds away. So, you know, I think the last lap of the race that I did trying to catch Schultze was faster than my qualifying time. So I think that says a fair bit about the handicap I gave myself to start with. But yeah, no, it was good. I made a couple of mistakes, and Schultze made a couple, and we kind of nearly gifted it to each other in a couple of little things of probably concentrating too much on the other, and vice versa. But in the end, he was too quick.
Well, it made for good racing, mate.
Just quickly, this seems to be the running joke at this point that everyone bought the track right before the session tonight, apart from me. But I guess maybe that we have to keep a tally of that, Steve. Whoever we talk to, we're going to say to them, when did you buy the track? Did you get it tonight, or have you had it previously? But I mean, Steve, we saw you make a slight little mistake through 13 and 14. You come out just ahead of Schultze there, kind of about the 3/4 way mark throughout the race. How was it dealing with the tyre wear that can come at this track, but also actually dealing with that fuel strategy at play as well, and then also obviously coming to grips with the circuit under race pace too?
Yeah, I tried to pit early and just give myself a bit of space and maybe get a little bit of an undercut. It kind of worked to an extent. Then Schultze would have needed a shorter stop than me a bit later. So, yeah, just made a mistake. I think at one point he was all over me, and I actually went to move over and just kind of give him the spot, and he went to the outside of me and went deep. So, and kind of missed the corner. So I went for a couple more laps, and then he was back on me. And I watch a fair bit of Supercross as a fan, and sometimes the fastest way is to move over and let the guy that's all over you past and try to learn what you're getting wrong. So I tried that theory, knowing that he's a pretty good defensive driver, and I might not get the chance to pass him again if I let him through, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to stay in front of him, so I'd try to get a lesson on the fly, and didn't quite work.
No, well, it's a wise move, mate. It's something that I try to do as well. If I know the guy's got that little bit more pace, I try to get behind him and learn to see where he's going and what's going on. And you never know. Sometimes you do find the loophole and you think, oh, yeah, I'm catching him a lot here. And you sort of keep going until you pass.
Yeah, that was the old Chad Reed trick. He always, if he didn't have a track nailed, but he was kind of up the pointy end, he'd move over, and usually it was Ricky Carmichael. He'd let him through and follow for a few laps, work out the bits he was missing and pass him, and then kind of that was it. But yeah, good theory. Didn't quite have the speed to do it.
No, that's all good, mate. It's all good. Look, who do you got to thank that gets you on the track and brings you out here every week, mate?
Yeah, just thanks to the team. So Pacific Esports, thanks to Lake Edge, Bin the Blade, Tim Nickel Photography, and just all the boys for their support. You guys for doing what you do, and yeah, well done to all the podium guys. It was good fun.
Excellent, mate. Well, congratulations and good luck next week for the sprint round.
Yes, hope to see you again.
Yeah, good one. Take care, brother.
Thanks, mate.
All right, so now we've got who we got? Schultze, then
and then we'll get
let's
to the,
speed this up a bit.
Mr. Taylor as well.
Mr. Schultz, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good boys.
Tell me, were you listening to the broadcast while you were racing?
No, I definitely wasn't, mate. I was eyes forward and let's go, pretty much all night.
Oh, there was that one pass you did. I can't remember who it was. It might have been on Martin. I can't remember. And I said to Hamish, right now he'd be going, "Oh yeah, baby."
It was a real on the resume type of move through the Casanova, a real big balls move, we'll call it. But it paid off for you and managed to continue the run up to P2. I mean, it was an exceptional job, even from that move, but for the majority of the race as well.
Yeah, look, it was all about head down, ass up, basically, just concentrate and focus and try not to take as many risks as I wanted to. There was a couple of times there where a couple of dives would have paid off, I feel, after I've raced these guys now. It was more of a play it safe again this week. Just to, conserve and think forward ahead to the points in the championship to hopefully seal that ladder on this year.
Mate, I'm just dumbfounded on what I'm hearing right now.
He's got to look
Who
after
is
the
this
foot.
guy?
He's got to look after the foot. That's what it is.
Tyson McAvoy, you've done a great job with this larrikin, mate, and you've wheeled him in, and he's got himself some really good positions the last few weeks. Tell me, mate, was there much cheering going on in your place while you were doing some of those moves, and then when you crossed the finish line?
Look, mate, some of the moves, 100%. When I crossed the finish line, it was a relief. Fuel was pretty tight. I was only planning on one stop, but yeah, the fuel save didn't work too well in the first stint, so I had to switch that up a bit.
All right, now, last question. Have you got your list in front of you?
I definitely do this time.
Good boy. All right, go for it.
Yeah, I was going to say again, I want to thank Tyson again for letting me come in and race. It's been awesome. Cowie again for a bit of setup work done. You know, input from these guys is a pretty big deal for me. Thank you to Performance Sim Racing, all the guys there pushing me forwards and calming this young head of mine to concentrate. Toyo Sim, easy to finance, West End Mazda track racer. Talk to me, bro. Hashtag talk to me, bro. Make sure you happen to hit that up if needed. Definitely worth it. Cowie, solo acoustic rock, absolutely awesome bloke. Isuzu Parramatta and West End Motor Group. And again, SRW for all the work you guys do. Thank you so much.
Excellent, mate. Good job, and good luck next week with the sprint round, dude.
Yeah, I don't look forward to sprint rounds. They're not my forte, unfortunately.
It brings out the animal in you, mate. I know it does. You're going to be struggling every corner to let that beast loose, but you'll be right, mate. You're doing well.
No, awesome. Thanks, guys. I appreciate
All right,
it.
take care of yourself, bro. Bye.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Brett Taylor. Mr. Brett Taylor, unmute your microphone and congratulations on the podium.
Hey, your beauty!
For the podium of the amateurs. Is this your first one for SRW?
Yep, that's my first one, full stop, mate.
Well done, mate.
I was
Well
about to
done.
say, have I spoken to you previously, Brett? But I don't think
Never.
we have we?
Never. I've got a couple of seconds in split 3 in vets, like 5 or 6 seasons ago, but this is my first victory. This is my first victory even in officials, mate. This is my first victory.
Oh, you little legend. I did hear some of the drivers because I had my earphones in and I listened to the race as well because I love to hear the cars and everything like that, and I listened to race control. And I heard some of the boys yell out, "What? Brett Taylor?"
Yeah. That's what I said when he said Brett Taylor was winner. I was like, what? I'm just trying to tidy it up here, boys. I really am.
Oh, good to see, mate. Good to see. Is the adrenaline rush gone, mate, or are you still buzzing?
No, it's only just started. I'm ready to go and chase the cat down the road. Don't worry.
You're not going to chase it with firecrackers, are you?
I've got no firecrackers, but I'll just chase it just for the fun of it.
Oh,
I got
mate,
to bed
it
till
sounds
4
like you had
o'clock
a
this morning.
blast out there.
Yeah, it was. It was good fun. I mean, I crapped me Dax was when I pitted and crew chief told me that I'd have to pit again. I was thinking, hang on, and I'm looking at my buttons and I'm going, how did that happen? What? Oh, no. No one else is going to pit again. I'm the only one. So I came out of the pits and I probably used too much rubber early thinking I'm going to have to get up. And then I backed off to try and save a bit of fuel. And then I seen a couple of cars in front of me. They pitted and they'd pitted after me before. And I thought, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do it. 15 laps to go. I'm just going to take a punt and see where I end up.
Yep.
So I pitted with 15 to go. So I had no tyres at the end. And Jeremy and Scotty and Craig, they were all over me like a cheap suit. So I was lucky to hold on where I did.
No, you did really well, mate. You did really well. And congratulations, mate. I'm stoked that your first win was at SRW. It's good. I still haven't had mine.
I can't even describe the feeling, Steve. I can't.
I have actually. I lie. I had a win in the 86s in one of the heats, but not a round win. I haven't had a round win. This is a round win, mate. This is sensational.
This is sensational. Well, sure, you can tell how pumped I am.
Oh, mate, it's good to be pumped. Why the hell not? Now you have to hold it back, mate. The first win's a big one.
It is.
This
is
your
huge.
first one, the one you don't forget.
Yeah, I mean, I save all my replays anyway, but I'm definitely saving this one.
So
I think you might have to save the show as well.
So, Brett, does this mean that you're now going to go one better and finally win a race in Split 2 as well? So I can say
No
this
chance.
is his first. Oh, come on.
Come
Have
on,
some
did you see
faith.
if you see my results? I don't think I finished inside the top 20 this season.
Oh, surely you did.
No, I think I might have been a 16th actually, but that's as high as I got. The rest of them were 32s, 31s. I just can't. I've got no pace to qualify the car.
Oh.
Anyway, so I reckon I'll be back to Split 3.
All right, mate. Well, last question I've got for you. Who do you need to thank? You're probably not used to doing this.
Obviously.
Yeah.
First cab off the rank is SRW, Warren and Brown Tools, Shannon's. Who else are your sponsors? Racecraft, NeuroPower, and then I want to get on to Valve, obviously Valve Esports. I want to thank them for backing me in, and RSW Graphics. Wow, he's the man, Ross. He's the man. I think I've covered everyone. That's about all my sponsors.
Nah, mate, you're a legend. I'm glad to see that you're stoked and you've had a good night. And I'm glad you popped your cherry with SRW, mate. It's great.
Mate, I've done my best to keep this tidy because I know it's on the broadcast. So what I'm about to do when I get off is ridiculous.
Oh, good, mate. You're a legend. All right. Have fun, mate. And good luck next week in the Super Sprint.
No worries. Thank you.
No worries.
Hey, Jack.
All right. Who we got next? Cowan?
Crosby. So we know that Cowie loves a bit of a yarn, so we might drag him in together, I reckon.
All right. Go for it.
He might hold us here for 5 minutes. Cowie, mate, what a run it was for you. What a run it was for both of you boys there. 1 stoppers, the only ones to do it. It's worked out for you, Cowie, to get, I believe this is your first podium on the Tuesday night. So you finally come good on the Tuesday. And then, Darren, this is just a regular night of the week for you, isn't it? Getting another win.
Yeah, well, I was tossing up whether or not to pit. I just didn't think I'd had enough to get home. And then I start going hard, and then I start to fuel save a little bit. And I was watching Jamie Davis tick down from about 27 seconds down to about 22, and then I sort of got over that. I don't know, just right near the end there, I thought, around 10 minutes to go, I thought, I'll just go for it and just see what happens. So I was pretty lucky. I had to clutch it as I came around onto the straight, and if Cowie had another 3 seconds on me, he would have got me.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was 3 seconds back too far, so I think I took 2 or 3 seconds out of him the last 3 laps because I did my saving early so I could push at the end, and it almost worked.
We watched it unfold. We could see that that Crosby was starting to slow up and coming down some of those hills, the S's and that. You're like pretty much rolling all the way through, and you can see Cowie driving, hitting the apexes and hitting the curves.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, don't worry. I was watching on my timer there. It was just ticking down near the end there. I thought he is going to get me.
Probably made a couple of mistakes early on in the race that cost me those 3 seconds, but no, it was still good fun. And yeah, when I saw him just starting to slow down, although I might have a chance here, but basically 1 lap short, though neither of us would have got around another lap. I think I had 1 leader when I came over the line.
Yeah, we said that, didn't we, Steve? It's like Cowie needs another lap to get past him, but they don't have another lap of fuel anyway. So
that's right. Yeah.
It's kind of a double-edged sword there, but
next week's a sprint round, so it doesn't matter. You got the whole first heat to make your way back up the field and maybe even get the 10th place to get the podium for the reverse top 10.
It was close tonight. I think early on, it was debatable whether or not the save was going to work, and I got a pretty good start and was able to sit in behind the guys, and I saw the numbers looked all right, so I went for it. But yeah, I think Race Labs was telling me it could go 33 laps before the pit stop, and when I came out after the pit stop, it said no, it's only going 32. So it wasn't until
Did you guys
then
make it back
that
to the grid? Did you both make it back to the grid? You did.
I had enough for half a burnout. I think I spun out, hit the wall, and it conked out.
I didn't even have a burnout left in me.
You just had a cough and a splutter?
Oh, yeah, I was literally melt.
I love it. You know what, guys? It was an absolute epic race to broadcast and to host. How was it to race, though? How is the track? What's your opinions on this track?
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's like a little bit of Silverstone and Jerez. Look, you're still learning it a little bit because it's only a new track that I've raced on, but no, a really nice track to practice on, and it was a good race tonight. And I was thinking it'd be a good broadcast because we were sort of chopping and changing with the lead there for a while. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, we
one of
track-
these places. Yeah, look, when I first started sim racing with the LG27 and I had 27-inch triples, I played a set of Corsa, and this was the track that you'd get a GT3 race up every half an hour. So you could just wait; it would cycle it up. So did a lot
Jesus,
of laps
Cowie,
here
you
when
should
I
have
started.
beaten me.
No, I know the track, but not the car. But it's it's one of those things. It's a bit different in a GT3 car, but it was interesting that you could dial in a setup that would stick here, but it would destroy tires. So it's very much, I think, the fuel saving sort of worked tonight because I was able to save tires as well as fuel. But Sunday, I reckon those quick guys are going to push it. It'll go an extra lap, and we could be in trouble.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a mega race on Sunday. I'm hanging for it, to be honest. I'm actually enjoying this double broadcast for myself during the week, on Tuesday night and Wednesday night, because I get to see you guys come out there and tear it up, and get to see some of you guys and the pros tear it up, which is sensational. Look, it's getting late. Cowie, do you want to thank you being second for tonight? Congratulations on your podium. Do you want to thank who brings you out in track and who supports you?
Well, thank you to you two gents, of course, and my teammates, Performance Sim Racing. Great race from Schultzy tonight too. Getting on the podium in the AMs. But yeah, no, West End Motor Group, Parramatta Isuzu, Too Easy Finance, Harvey Norman, Track Racer, my own business, CowieMusic.com, Night Rider Designs for our great paints, and of course on the back of the spoiler we've got hashtag Talk to Me Bro. If you've got your mates out there that are doing it tough, just take a little bit of time to talk to them, because it makes a big world of difference.
It does, mate. It does. And you, hats off to you for helping your mate during the week last week. I hope everything worked out well for him.
Yeah, mate, he's doing okay. It's it's one of those things. Even things go south for blokes too. So you just need a mate to maybe have a laugh with and take a bit of the load off for a few hours.
Or you just watch us on Sim Racing World broadcast and have a laugh at us idiots commentating. Mr. Crosby, I know you don't have a massive list like Cowie does. He's got a bigger list than I have. Who brings you to race, supports you?
Okay, I'd like to thank my teammates, of course, like every week getting out there and practicing and putting sets together. Chris played around with the sets again this week, so we raced with his one. It was a good one. I'd like to thank Warren and Brown Tools, Rare Spares, Shannon's, you guys that come out every week and watch us, Sim Racing World and Sim Racing TV, and really enjoy it. Really enjoy the league, and can't wait for next week.
It's going to be a cracker. I think it's going to be an awesome night for a sprint. I think it's a good track that we've picked for a sprint round. I can't wait myself as well, but I just can't wait till Sunday night as well. So viewers, chime in. Listen, legends, thank you very much for putting on an awesome show. It's always great to have a chin wag with you guys. I could do it for hours, I tell you what. But we'll let you guys go and let the rush of the adrenaline of racing each other wear down. And congratulations and good luck next week.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, those AMS boys were pretty pumped, weren't they?
Oh yeah, Brett Taylor. I don't know what it was like in the room with you guys, but I reckon he's still screaming and yelling and jumping around and probably chasing his cat down the street.
It's good, really good to see. Really good to see.
It is. Well, all right, take care, gents, and see you next week.
Well done, Cowie.
Cheers, boys. Well, Hamish, that was another. Oh, I nearly booted you out of the room then.
That would have been very interesting. You would have started yarning to yourself there, and I would have been like, "Why is it all quiet for?" Oh.
Yeah, because Cowie's name was there, and you must have moved him at the same time, mate. What a race! This is why I love doing what we do every week. It never gets boring. There's always someone new that's out there having a blast, and I don't know, people that are out there watching. It's fantastic to see someone like Brett Taylor coming out with a win, does his first one and has a blast and enjoys it. It shows you the passion that these boys have from the very back all the way to the front, and it shows in the racing as well. I mean, that battle pack we had in 15th, 16th and 17th was spectacular racing tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, we really got a good display that there are battles all throughout the field, week in and week out. obviously we can't catch them every single minute of every single race, but we try to show them when we can. But it's good to see that, you know, even if it's not for an overall podium, even for those class podiums, or even just for something that may not necessarily be a podium position, they're still battling it out hard amongst each other and amongst the classes as well. It has given me an idea, Steve. I mean, I don't know about you. I know how you like saying you like to commentate the Tuesday and the Sunday. What do you reckon of the idea of maybe you racing on the Tuesday, learning the track, feeling it from a driver's perspective, and then we've got that driver's eye view for Sunday night for the commentary as well?
Well, what I am going to do, and I think Tyson and his boys go out on a Monday night for a spin. I might join them for a bit of a spin. They know I'm crap, so I'm not going to steal any highlights from them, that's for sure. But I did it a few weeks ago with those boys, and I really loved it. And it was a great little night of just getting the V8 out of the system a little bit, because I don't do much of it at the moment. I probably will race it again next season, but I've got my gut feeling is telling me that next season we may need to have an AM split with the volume of drivers that are having a ball here and the volume of drivers that are coming across.
Well,
So,
I mean, if we're having an AM split, what it could be is you could race in the AMs, right? And say, for example, when Shibby comes back, me and Shibby could broadcast the AMs, and then when you're done with the AMs, you can join me and Shibby in the broadcast booth for the main game as well.
Oh yeah, that's good. Something that we could work on. Something definitely we work on. Billy Mole has messaged me. Boys, I watched the broadcast. Billy Mole is my real name.
Oh,
there you go.
I thought
Billy
it would
Mole,
be his
so
real
we know-
name, but
we know two famous Billy Moles now.
Oh,
So,
somewhat
there you
famous,
go.
we'll say.
If you race at SRW, you're famous in my world.
Alright,
It's a
mate.
small world, but it's my world.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will bring an end to our broadcast here tonight for the Warren and Brown V8 Supercars Series, round number 5 out at Mugello. A big thank you to all of our series sponsors, as always: Warren and Brown Tools, Shannon's Insurance, Grim Industries, Shunt Scenery, Motorsport Australia, NeuroPower, and DSL Rail Services. Also, big thank you to all the viewers, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon as well, so you are notified anytime we go racing across all 6 nights that we go racing during the week, Steve. It's incredible that we can produce this much content for our viewers out there, including 2 Supercars events brought to you by Warren and Brown. The Supercars Series on the Tuesday, the Pro-Am on the Sunday between the Pros and Pro-Ams, of course, as well as the Friday night IMSA Series, also brought to you by Warren and Brown. We got 2 series brought to you by Shannon's Insurance, including the Formula 3 Nationals on Wednesday nights and the GR86 Nationals on Thursday nights, which is also a Motorsport Australia official series. And then, of course, we round out our racing week Monday night with the Motorsport Australia Formula V Nationals. It's been an incredible first half of the season so far, Steve. I'm so looking forward to seeing the second half of this season and seeing how it plays out over the next 4 weeks. After this week, of course, we have 5 weeks left, 4 weeks for the Tuesday Night Supercars Series. I've been Hamish Munro. This has been Steven Sinkovic alongside me. Thank you for joining us for the Warren and Brown Tools V8 Supercars Series for round number 5 out at Mugello here on Sim Racing World TV. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow night for the Shannon's Insurance Formula 3 Nationals. Alongside me will be Cowie once again. Steve, tell them what you tell them.
No, it won't be Cowie.
Oh, it won't
you
be
will
Cowie.
have a ring-in tomorrow night. Cowie's got the night off. He's going out to get a new set of drums. So you will have a new partner in tomorrow night to be announced. But also, don't forget, watch the Sim Racing World Review Show. Come and have a watch and have a laugh. Share it to your mates. Get it out there so we can grow it. And also, keep an eye out for something really special that's going to happen in the next few weeks. You got to watch this space. Sim Racing World is taking things to another level again. So this one I'm not going to open my mouth and blab about, but I'll start the gossip now. Look, drive hard and stay safe. Cheers, girls and girls.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyke just absolutely